Hello everyone and welcome in today's session. Today we are going to start your chapter number 2, that is microorganisms, friend and foe. So this title itself says you that whatever the microorganisms are there, they are your friend, right? And as well as foe also. What is mean by foe? That is enemy, right? So microorganisms are there, they are your friend as well as enemy, right? Now you will say that how these microorganisms will be both at the same time, because you have either friend or foe. Both cannot be there one person, but it's their microorganism, right? So we will see in this chapter what is mean by microorganisms, its types, and how they are your friend, means how they are useful to us, and whenever they will be act as a foe, means when they will be causes harm to you, right? So if anyone is causing harm to you, means that is your enemy. So in that sense microorganisms will be your enemy. So let's start our today's chapter, chapter number 2, microorganisms and foe. So in that first you have to see the definition of the microorganism. Now what is mean by microorganism? Now in that two words are there. One is micro and second one is a organism. Micro means very small, right? And organism which is very small, right? Are you able to see that organism then? No, these organisms are as very small, you cannot see them with your naked eyes, right? How we can see all other things, right? People around you, plants are there, all other things are there. Just you open your eyes and you can see them. But these microorganisms you cannot see with your opened eyes, naked eyes, right? So if you have to see them, you have to use some kind of tools like microscope, right? Magnifying lens, right? So if you use these things, possibility is there, some of the microorganisms you can see, right? So see your definition. Microorganisms or microbes are the living organisms which we cannot see with our eyes alone. Only with eyes we cannot see them, and these organisms are called as microorganisms, or in short microbes, right? Now see, one activity is given to see these microorganisms. First activity is collect some moist soil from the field in a beaker and add water to it. After soil particles have settled, observe a drop of water from the beaker under a microscope. What do you see? So whatever the microorganisms are there in the soil, that maybe you are able to see under the microscope. And second activity is given, same, you have to take a few drops of water from the pond, spread on a glass slide and observe through a microscope. Means here you have to take the sample from the soil, and here you have to take a sample from a water, right? Pond water. So in that, if you observe these both the slides, in that you can see full of a tiny organism. So this shows that the water as well as the soil both will have so many microorganisms, right? So these microorganisms are very small in size, and as we cannot see them directly with our eyes, because if you will see, watch the soil particles, right? You are not able to see them. If you see the water drop from the pond, you are not able to see them. But the same you observe under the microscope, then you are able to see them under the microscope. So they cannot see with the unaided eye. Now another example is given of the microorganism, fungus, right? All of you are aware of that. Now this fungus you can observe with magnifying glass, right? Now just now I said that some of the microorganisms are there that you can observe with the magnifying glass, right? So fungus. Now what is mean by fungus, right? So you just take a bread, right, and keep it in one tiffin for 3-4 days in a moist condition, warm condition, and after 4 days whenever you will open your tiffin, you are able to see that in that tiffin some cotton fiber like structure has grown on the bread, right? So this whitish thread like structure is there, cotton like structure is there, that is nothing but a fungus, right? Or sometimes this white structure looks black in color, right? Whenever it looks black in color means it has formed spores in it, and that's why it looks black in color, right? So this structure you are able to see with your eyes because it is a bunch of a thread like structure of a fungi, so easily you can see with your eyes. But a single thread fiber structure of a fungus you want to see, then you have to use a magnifying glass or lens. So with the help of magnifying lens you can see the fungus. Here you don't need to use a microscope, right? So see here, so fungus you can grow on a bread and you can observe with a magnifying glass, right? So here you don't no need to use a microscope. There are 4 major groups of the microorganisms are there. See here the names are given. These are bacteria, fungi, protozoa and algae, right? So all the microorganisms are classified into 4 major groups: bacteria, fungi, protozoa and algae. Fungi just now I said over here, right? Along with this there is one more group that is known as a virus, right? So this virus, see here, they reproduce only inside the cells of the host organism, right? Which may be a bacterium, plant cell or a animal. Now you see a virus, all of you are aware about nowadays COVID-19 disease is going on, right? And the cause of that disease is nothing but a virus. Like that we have common cold, so common disease is there, that is also caused by a virus. Flu is there, influenza is there, all these diseases are caused by a virus. Now what is the characteristics of a virus? Virus can survive only inside a cell of a living organism. Now that cell can be of anyone, that may be of a bacteria cell, that may be of any animal cell, or that may be of any plant cell. So virus, if you have to survive, that need a host cell. Suppose the virus is outside the cell, the virus did not got any host cell to live, then what? Virus can die? No, virus did not die. It will be remain inactive, right? As like a spore condition. So whenever the same virus enter inside the cell, it will become active and start to reproduce. And whenever it is outside the cell, it is inactive. It is as like a non-living things, right? How it is there, stone particle, like that only virus will be act. So that's why if you want to know either virus is a living or a non-living, then here we can say that virus is on the boundary of living and non-living. Whenever it is inside the host cell, it is living, and whenever it is outside the host cell, it is a non-living, right? So this is what the characteristics of a virus. See here, some of the diseases are given which is caused by the virus. Diseases are like common cold, influenza, flu. Most of the coughs are there. This is caused by the virus, right? So these are some of the examples of diseases caused by the virus. Now see, some serious diseases are like polio, chickenpox are there. These are also caused by the virus. So the causal organism for all these diseases is a virus. Now see, there are some diseases like dysentery, malaria, they are caused by protozoans, right? We have seen here 4 types of the microorganism, that is bacteria, fungi, protozoa and algae. So among that the protozoa is there. These are causing the diseases like dysentery and the malaria. Malaria, we know that the disease caused by the mosquito bite, but the mosquito carries a protozoa which is causing a disease, right? So here the malaria is caused by a protozoa. Next, typhoid and tuberculosis. Tuberculosis is also known as a TB. So these diseases are there, these are caused by the bacteria, right? So here we have seen one of the group of the microorganism is a bacteria. So these are the bacterial diseases, typhoid and tuberculosis. Here the question will be asked, name the different types of diseases caused by bacteria or caused by protozoa or caused by viruses. So you have to remember that the which disease is caused by which organism. See on the next page, pictures are there. See, these are both the pictures of a bacteria, right? Now bacteria, if you will see, they are of 4 types. That is the spiral bacteria is there, rod shaped bacteria is there, comma shaped bacteria is there, and round shaped bacteria is also there, right? So this is the picture which shows you the spiral bacteria. This is also called as a spirulina, right? This is rod shaped bacteria. You can see the structure, it is as like a rod. So the name of this bacteria is a rod shaped bacteria. This is also called as a bacillus bacteria, right? Below that, if you will see, these are the 2 pictures of algae. Algae, we have seen one of the group of a microorganism. So here this is the single cell organism that is known as the Chlamydomonas. These are the 2 flagella which is used to move from one place to another. So this is the Chlamydomonas algae, means it is from the plant group, right? And this is the Spirogyra. This is also occurs in a pond, green color structure it is. Here if you will see, it is arrangement of spiral color, spirally arranged chlorophyll is there. So that's why the name is given Spirogyra. So this is one more microscopic algae. Now here you can see the protozoa. 2 examples are given of the protozoa, amoeba, paramecium, right? Unicellular organism are there. Amoeba, any shape it will be there, and paramecium, it is of a sleeper shaped, right? Here you can see small cilia are there, hairs are there, these small hairs are there, these all small hairs are called as cilia. So protozoa is amoeba and paramecium. One more group we have seen, that is the fungi. In that one example I have given, the fungi which grows on a bread, right? So that is called as a bread mold. If you take a lens and observe with the lens, then the bread mold fungi will be looking in this way. I said it will be look as like the cotton fiber. So these are the hyphae, right? So it will look white color, right? And here these are the sporangiosperms, inside which the spores are formed. Black dots are there. These are the spores, right? So whenever this fungi looks black in color, means this structure is developed. Sporangias are formed, right? And mature spores are developed. So this is the structure of bread mold. This is the penicillium. We are studying ahead about the penicillium, how it is used to make the medicine, right? So this is the structure of penicillium. So these are branched structure, and on these conidias are formed. And this is the structure of aspergillus. All these 3 are the fungi: bread mold, penicillium and aspergillus, given on page number 18. Now on the page number 19, next page, you can see here, these are the 2 pictures which gives you the structure of a virus, right? So if this structure, if you will see, this hexagon head type structure is there, here neck is there, then this is a body, and these are a leg like structures are there, right? So this is all made up of a protein. Here also you can see this is the protein coat is there, and outside that stick like structure is there, right? So that is also made up of a protein. Inside that RNA or DNA genetic material will be there. So these are the two different types of virus structure is given. So here we have seen the four different types of the microorganisms and their examples. Once again see, bacteria, algae, protozoa and fungi. And fifth one, it is a virus, right? Either it is not living and non-living. It is on the boundary of living and non-living. Now see, where do microorganisms live, right? So for this, in the beginning, two activities are given, right? That you have to take a sample from the soil, and a second activity that you have to take a sample from the pond. So in both that samples, you must have observed so many microorganisms, right? So means what? Microorganisms can live in water as well as in a soil. So along with that, what are the different places where we can find these microorganisms? See here in this point we are studying the same. Here microorganisms, a single celled microorganism is there, that may be bacteria, algae, protozoa or multicellular structure. If you will see, means the structure which is formed more than one cell, then it can be a algae or fungi. So unicellular and multicellular microorganisms are there. They can survive in various types of environment, can survive under all types of environment, means they will be survive anywhere. Now see the range of the change in environment, ranging from ice cold, means below 0 degree centigrade temperature is there. There also we can find the microorganism. Even in hot spring, some of the hot springs are there where the temperature is near about 80-90 degree centigrade, right? So in that high temperature also we can find the microorganism. Next is the desert, where the water stress condition is there, very less amount of water is there, high temperature and dry condition is there. There also we can find microorganism. Then marshy lands. Marshy lands means where waterlogged condition is there, more amount of water is there, marshy places are there. There also we can see the microorganism. So all these, what indicates that microorganisms can found anywhere in air, water, land, ice, beneath the land, right? Then in volcanoes also we have seen some of the microorganisms are surviving. In hot springs we found, means at very high temperature, desert condition, under high pressure, means at the depth in ocean, there also we can see a microorganism. So in short, we can say that microorganisms are cosmopolitan. Cosmopolitan means they can found anywhere, everywhere. No any place is there where we cannot found the microorganism. No such place is available, right? So microbes are found everywhere. Air, water, soil, land, marshy places, saline water, anywhere they will be found, right? So this is what microbe found or survive anywhere in varieties of range of temperature and water, right? So they can exist freely or in a group, right? So see, some of the microorganisms are there, they are freely present, means they will be roam alone, right? For example, amoeba, right? They will be live alone, they don't need of any other friend, right? Alone they will go anywhere. And some are there like fungi, some bacteria are there, they live in colonies, means they will be in a group. Anywhere they have to stay, go, they will be go in a group, right? So we are saying them that colonial animals. Colonial animals means they are living in the colony. Many microorganisms comes together and form a group. So wherever they will go with a group. So we always found these microorganisms in a group. So these organisms are known as colonial organisms. And solitary. Solitary means alone. Means anywhere they have to go, and anytime if you found them, then you will found a single organism, right? So that is called as the solitary. So this is what we can say, that microorganisms can be live alone or in a colony. Examples are given. Next point is microorganism and us. This point we will discuss in our next video, right? So till this what we have seen today, right? So first, what is mean by microorganism? Definition of the microorganism. So define microorganism, or what do you understand by microorganism? 1 mark question will be asked on the definition. So you have to prepare the definition very nicely. Then 2 marks question will be asked. Give the different types of the microorganism, right? Or what are the different categories of the microorganism? So in that 4 major categories are given, that is bacteria, fungi, protozoa, algae, and 5th one virus is also there, right? So you have to write out of these 5, 4 one, right? Majority the first 4 you have to write. So these 4 categories we have learned. Then more detail about the virus we have learned. Then this question will be also asked, can a virus be considered as a living or a non-living, right? So based on that also you can give the answer, why it is living and why it is non-living, right? So in which category it will come? It will be on the boundary of living and non-living. Then for all 5 different types of microorganisms are there, which different diseases they causes, right? So that list of diseases also we have studied. So that examples will be also asked for 2 marks, right? So the name of the diseases will be given. You have to write it is bacterial disease or viral disease or fungal disease or protozoonic disease, right? So this you have to identify. Like that 2 marks question will be asked. So this is about the microorganism. Next point we have seen that where do we found these microorganism, or where we see them, right? So in that we have seen the microorganisms are cosmopolitan. Everywhere in any type of condition is there we found the microorganisms. This we have seen in this. So that question will also be asked for 2 marks. So prepare this full point very nicely along with the questions. Any doubt is there, then write in comments. If you did not understand any point, revise the video, repeat it and see repeatedly and get it clear. Go through the textbook also. Underline points are there that you read out and prepare your notes, right? And in next video we will start our next point, that is microorganism and us. Prepare well. All the best.